Grief Talk with Vaughn Solis, The Clips. The suicide boards were all about promoting and supporting those who wanted to end their life. So knowing this for as long as I have, since 2005, that these boards exist, and having the type of harmful content be exposed through media and parents' stories in modern day today, we understand and we know, and everybody understands, that the web can be a really dangerous place. And when you think that the worst can't happen to you, I want to let you know that it can. It absolutely can. And it doesn't matter how much money you have. It doesn't matter how beautiful your home is. It doesn't matter that your child has the best support that you feel you can give that child. It doesn't matter how many extracurricular activities they're in. It doesn't matter how many A's they get. It doesn't matter how popular they may be. Recent suicides of top young female athletes in the United States, boom, 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 shows that none of that matters. And when, as parents, we're going off to work and we may or may not be meeting up at the dinner table and eating together, because life practices are such that they're so busy, and I'm pretty sure that hasn't changed since I was raising my children 30 to 40 years ago. And, and this activity after school for this one and that activity for that one, and running around and working full time, and sometimes maybe trying to manage aging parents or other responsibilities. And, maybe there might be relationship tensions that you have to deal with, and all of that, just to say it can become easy to very quickly, and without even really knowing it, to lose your grip on the family and on what your kids are doing. Not knowing really how your child is feeling, not knowing what they're struggling with, not knowing what they're accessing on the web. When scientists and medical professionals have found that social devices have become the go-to comfort when a child is in trauma or in hospital, or getting a needle, or whatever is happening to them that is highly impacting in their life in a negative way, and they're using the social device instead of having the parent comfort them. And this is with no disrespect to parents. It's the way, and if you watch the episode with Andrea, she talks about this. This is the way that parents have been conditioned and even pressured to make sure they're not losing out by robbing their kids the opportunity of being connected to the net and having the latest device and so on. The effects now, with science able to look at nearly a generation. So we'll talk, up to early 20s at this point. From baby to early 20s, where they've had the most impact in having a device in their hands from the youngest of ages. They're finding that we're basically raising and have raised a generation of young individuals who, and I'm going to read this because I don't want to get it wrong, they are dependent on devices for comfort, learning, awareness, development, and influence. So I really wanted to say that again. This is the first generation having grown up largely with devices, so to about their early 20s, maybe a little younger. And as Andrea talks, it's more about the interaction and the touch screen. The touch screen, as opposed to just viewing. Even when they view television, it's the interaction of the touch that has really screwed up the brain's regulation and created a generation of young individuals, and we're raising them now as children, who, I repeat, turn to their devices for comfort, learning, awareness, development, and influence.